Hey, thanks for joining me. Today I wanted to go over a few different nail products, try and review. So I have some Jamberry, Kiss, Color Street, and then regular nail polish. I purchased all these or got them from a friend, couponed, whatever for them. Jamberry I bought forever ago. The Kiss I must have gotten free. Color Street, this is actually my first try, and then I did some nail polish just for comparison. So I read the instructions. They'll have a slightly different application. Just fair warning, I'm sure I didn't do them perfect, but I did try. So I'll go through them one by one and let you know what I think of them. If you have any comments or thoughts, I'd love to hear them down below. And if you like more videos like this, give this a thumbs up and subscribe and let me know. So for all of them, I prepped my nails by just using some acetone nail polish remover, just so they're nice and clean, so everything can stick properly. You'll see that I have a tight C curve on my nails, so it does make it harder for the stickers to stay with them. I don't have really flat nails like some people, so that's kind of a little challenge that you might have if you're like me. So just something to think about. So I start off with the Color Street. These are different from all the rest of them because they're not actual stickers like Jamberry or the Kiss ones. Mostly, let's be honest, I'm focusing on the Jamberry and the Color Street, but these are actually 100% nail polish. It kind of makes me think of decals or like 3D printing. They are almost completely cured strips of nail polish, but not quite. So there's not as much work to them, and we'll see how they last. But you can kind of put them up next to your fingers, see what the best fit is, and then go from there. I feel like one side is a little more rounded, one is a little more square, I think, with these. So I like the way that they hugged my nails. A little trickier to like take off there. I feel like the Jamberry you can just kind of cut in half if you don't have really long nails to save for later. These are not so great for saving for later. We'll talk about that, but just a quick show of how that looks, and I'll get a close-up picture in a minute. Once you place them on there, you'll want to rub them and then using a file away the excess. And these do smell like nail polish, so there is a little bit of odor to them, and they cure with the oxygen that they're exposed to once you open the pack. So just keep that in mind. I feel like out of all of these, this and the nail polish are the most natural feeling, if that makes sense. Like, you just don't feel like it is a sticker floating on top. So far into this process, I was pleased. Next up were these Kiss push-on sticker nail things. I feel like I got them at the drugstore. It might have been the dollar store. Either way, they were pretty cheap, and it's kind of fun. These were 3D, like they've got some texture to them. But the big thing here is that this is what you can get when you're just at the drugstore. The Color Street and the Jamberry you have to get through a distributor, kind of like Mary Kay, Senegence, that kind of stuff. It is a direct sales, like party type sort of thing, so you have to find someone and possibly wait for shipping, whereas this you can just get at the drugstore. So these were kind of fun, where they were partially see-through and they had a little bling to them and easy enough to apply. There weren't really a whole lot of special instructions, just put on and rub it in. I feel like they matched again pretty good with my cuticle line. I mentioned that because the Jamberry, not so much, kind of a fail on that part, but I feel like they look pretty good. They definitely feel different. With the Jamberry, I would say that these are the biggest pain to actually put on. The easiest to actually be able to stretch, I feel like, though, because you get all of these. You can cut them in half if you have short nails like me. You can mix and match so much, just if you want, like for an accent nail. But you do have to have heat. So I have a little heat gun instead of like a hair dryer or something like that. I've seen people do it with like warmed up rice bags, that sort of thing. But you do have to heat it up, put on the strip, and just like the rest of them, you're going to file it down. Interesting fact about Jamberry, actually after I filmed this video, I found out that Jamberry did declare bankruptcy. So I asked a friend who sells it, like, what's gonna happen? But I guess they were bought by another company, so we'll see what happens there. One thing about Jamberry that I do like is that they are international. I feel like they do give you more options. Like, supposedly there are like a few different options, not nearly as much variety, but when I looked on their website, like, you could find some that maybe didn't require quite as much effort, like with the heating and all that. Not quite sure, haven't tried them. They do have hair and skin and lacquers, different care versus the ColourPop just being nails. But again, you have to have the extra equipment, so that's kind of a pain. Prices I feel like are pretty comparable, where the Jamberry is $15 for a set like I have. The ColourPop is $11 to $14, which is a little bit less, but you know, with the review you'll see the value and the price, you know. Last of all, I am just comparing it to some regular old nail polish. Who knows, probably like Sally Hansen or something, nothing too fancy. And I couldn't find my base coat, so I don't know how fair it is, but just a coat of color, a coat of clear, and I got this cool little fan that I like for drying my lip scents and also my nail polish. But also, I love, love, love this stuff. It is in my Amazon store. Check it out in the link down below. I swear by this stuff. It's just these little drops that dry it so much faster. Like, I can go to bed shortly after doing my nails and know that I'm not going to have like nasty yellow crinkles and half worn off from going to bed that night. So anyway, check it out in the link below. And I wore my nails for a couple weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks, I think. And let me show you the results. So let's talk about the casualties one by one. Overall, I formed my opinions pretty quickly and was not shocked. So the color street, see, a little bit chipped off, but overall it was dang good. Here we've got the kiss. It was fraying up on the edges. Can't really tell it very well because blurry camera and it's kind of see-through, but it's all flapping up and gummy and not really pleasant. Just kind of a cheap sticker, to be honest. The Jamberry, it was coming up on the edges. I hate that it'll kind of catch your hair underneath it. It's kind of gross that way. It doesn't make me feel very sanitary. And of course the nail polish was just a hot mess. The first to chip looked horrible, while all the rest was still looking good. So that's kind of the benefit of the stickers. So when it came time to clean off, no big surprises there. You're supposed to soften up the stickers with a little bit of the nail polish remover, and then of course the nail polish came right off with the remover. And the color street did take a good deal of work. That stuff would have lasted a good long time, so I really do appreciate that. Probably kind of my favorite, with some caveats. So let's talk about those. Despite Color Street not having nearly as many designs as Jamberry, the biggest struggle for me was that they're pretty much one-time use. Once you open the package, even if you put them in a little Ziploc, they're not going to work because the curing happens because it's made contact with the air. I tried to use them as decals, kind of like this. I'll show you what I did there. And maybe I'm just, you know, I've never tried actually using like decals. I have a decal mat, but I've never actually used it. But I just used some clear nail polish here and stuck on little bits because they were not sticking anymore, and it was frustrating. It didn't look as good, it wasn't as smooth, and to be honest, they popped off I think within 48 hours. So I don't know, that could be user error. Ultimately that's not how they're designed to work, and the frustrating thing for me is I don't always want to do a full set of nails. I might just want an accent nail on each hand and the rest with nail polish because I actually enjoy the painting, or the designs might be overwhelming. And so I like more the a la carte style of Jamberry that you can kind of just use however much you want. It's not all or nothing. The friend that gave these to me swears by them, and I agree with her. I feel like they're way superior. The shape and the longevity of them and the feel of them. However, it's just that one thing if they were to package them more individually. She said that you can like fold over a piece of cloth and then like a straight iron and maybe seal it up right away. I have not tried that. I just had this one package and thought I'd experiment, and they all did die. So I might need to find someone local who sells them and maybe give that a try, but that's kind of frustrating to have to think about, like, okay, quick, gotta reseal these. It's almost as bad as using the heat element to the Jamberry. Just one more step that's not really making it super user-friendly, but that's my one caveat. I know I'm just kind of flapping my gums over here, but if you haven't tried them and you're in the US, then it might be worth it. I was really impressed. I see why she was so adamant about liking them. But if you want more designs, if you like doing just a little accent nail here or there and Jamberry doesn't bug you, then feel free to go for it. But I enjoy you watching here. I appreciate it. I appreciate those thumbs up and those comments. And let me know down below. I would love to know, are you watching my channel for these beauty things, or for my decluttering, or the trips that I go on every month, or what brought you to my channel in the first place? And let me know what kind of videos you want to see, because I do have about a bazillion ideas and just trying to see where to go with all that. So hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.